Hey guys, Marsingen here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so with the World Tournament coming up on JP, it literally starts tomorrow. I think by the time this video goes up, it is within like 12 to 13 hours. And unfortunately, bad news, global fans, if you haven't seen the multiple people tweeting about it today, if you go into the Portal of Memories, you can see that the Genius Bulma Battle Prep event has the little tag on it that says that it is coming in 5 days. That means it's going to arrive middle of next week, which means we probably have a World Tournament on Global next weekend, right? Because that event always comes back just before the World Tournament. I don't think it comes back over a week before, so pretty much confirms, right, that a Global World Tournament is going to start on the 21st. So this video will be useful for both JP players for tomorrow and global players for next week. Truth tweeted out a thing yesterday, well, retweeted a thing from someone on JP who posts a lot of stats, which is this list that shows how long in seconds it takes for each of the top like AoE units that people use in the World Tournament to kill all of the enemies. So this is obviously timed from when their attack begins, their entire attack animation, you obviously see it damage all of the enemies, and then you get the KO screen at the end. This is the timer for how long it takes for each of those units to kill all of the enemies. So those of you who are fairly used to using him, obviously quite aware, LR Broly is pretty low down on this list. He has a pretty long super attack animation. And the original tweet was made with Truth singing the praises of STR Piccolo, who you can see here is number 4 on the list. His super attack animation takes 12.1 seconds to kill all of the enemies. He's only beaten out by like 0.1 second by second form Frieza, but remember, this is in order of just the time, not like how good those units are, right? So Piccolo easily better than Frieza. Majin Vegeta is 11.3, but remember his 18 key is his AoE, so you have to get enough key to get the 18 key super, otherwise he just does a single target attack. And then Tech Majin Vegeta is 11.2, so Piccolo only being beaten out at most by 0.9 of a second by Tech Majin Vegeta. But STR Piccolo is an orb changer who is also a nuker, so not only is he doing that AoE at a pretty good pace, he's also pretty much, unless you get terrible luck with the orbs RNG, going to kill all of the enemies, because I believe after his easy A, doesn't he get like guaranteed crits now or something as well? So very, very powerful unit. Now, the point of Truth's tweet here was to say that his opinion is that STR Piccolo is basically the best World Tournament unit available as of right now, and this list seems to strengthen that case. So I saw somebody asking about, as many of you will know if you've come to any of my World Tournament streams or you've seen people posting their teams and stuff, one of the big strategies that people use currently is to use a team full of LRs, because the more LRs you have on the team, the more points you get per run. And somebody replied to this tweet basically asking if the trade-off for losing some points by having a TUR on your team instead of having full LRs was actually worth it. So since I was bored and had nothing else to do at work yesterday afternoon, I decided to work out using very basic maths and getting some information from some other JP players exactly how this works. Now, I'm not going to go through all this in full detail. Here's the thing I posted. It was too long for a tweet, so I just took a screenshot of a notepad. You can obviously pause it and read it yourself completely if you want. But basically, I got someone to give me the average number of points you get from a run with a full LR team, and then the average number of points that you get from a run where you're not using full LRs. And then we basically worked out the difference, right? So by using a slightly faster team, you're able to get one extra run in the time that it takes you to do 20 runs with the full LR team. So in the same amount of time, you will do 20 runs with the full LR team, 21 runs with a team that is not full LRs, right? Now, that means you get one extra full completion. That's from the beginning of the preliminaries all the way to winning the final. However, the points difference from the numbers that I was given show here that 20 runs with the full LR team gets you 20 million points, 21 runs with the non-LR team gets you 18.9. So even though you get more completions in the same amount of time, you get less points overall. Now, I discussed this a little bit back and forth with a couple of people, and some people gave me different numbers, so obviously these are kind of taken from averages. I did see a lot of numbers from teams that only have one TUR that were a lot closer to the million points per run. And then I did retweet this. I had a really good interaction with this guy, Tripsy DBZ. Now, any of you out there who've played the World Tournament quite a lot, you might recognize this name. And basically the point of this video and the advice that I wanted to give for JP players for tomorrow, global players for next week, is this information that was given to me by Tripsy, who, if you still don't know who it is, don't recognize the name, this is somebody who has finished #1 overall in the World Tournament multiple times. So that means literally #1 in the world, the highest ranked player in the World Tournament, and they have done this multiple times. And they recommend using STR Piccolo over using a team full of LRs. So this is the information that they gave me. So for the average person that just wants to get 30 million points, which will let you complete all of the missions, get the bare minimum of all the rewards, you don't necessarily need to use Piccolo, right? Because depending on how much time you have over a weekend to play the World Tournament, 30 million points only takes like a few hours. Now, obviously, if you want to use the fastest and most efficient team, you can get that done quicker, but it's not necessary. But, he says here, you will notice the influence of Piccolo if you're trying to go for top 10, since you will do over 600 runs. Like, that is actually insane. Like, even times when I've gone hard on the World Tournament, I think the highest I ever finished was in, like, the top 100, and I think I only had close to, like, 200 wins back then. And this guy's doing over 3 times as many full completions in that weekend. And he uses STR Piccolo. So he says it's not only the few seconds in comparison. 4 seconds is the difference between him and LR Broly, by the way. Piccolo and LR Broly. But many LRs need 2 super attacks to finish all of the enemies. So you will have noticed this if you use LR Broly, that very often when you get to the final on ×30 difficulty, which is obviously the hardest fight on the highest difficulty, very often, unless you get crits, STR Broly will not kill an AGL enemy with his first super attack. So then, obviously, he does a second one, which takes another, was it 16 point or 14 point something seconds, right? So that just increases the time even more. Now, again, if you're not going for speed and you just want to get your certain amount of completions done, Broly is very good because that guaranteed second super basically always clears up all of the enemies. But if you're going for speed, you're adding a huge amount of extra time. And then he says, some people will even use attack items, since using an item is faster than a second super attack. So using an attack up item to ensure that Broly kills all the enemies with his first super attack, the 2 or 3 seconds at most it will take you to go into the menu and use an attack item is obviously faster than Broly doing a second super attack. Now with Piccolo, he is a orb changer. So you can see here, last but not least is the concentration point. You will never have to think with Piccolo about orbs. Believe me, with 2 hours sleep for top 1, this is huge. So yeah, this guy sleeps 2 hours a night when going for #1 overall, which is not a thing that most people are going to do. But I guess it is a relevant point, right? If you're going to sit down for a couple of hours and grind, you don't really want to be having to use a strategy that involves you having to pay a lot of attention to what you're doing. This is something that you will have seen if you come to my streams when I do the World Tournament. I will very often get distracted talking to chat, not use an item, and then die. So when you use Piccolo, he's changing all the orbs for you, and you literally just have to click on the giant mass of red on the screen in front of you, and then Piccolo is going to do his AoE and kill all of the enemies. So Piccolo, definitely a solid unit. I believe, actually, if I go into the further replies, yeah, I asked him to show me the actual team that he used. Because I said here, right, like, this guy was replying with information that was essentially to challenge what I was saying, that I still thought the LR team was better. And as I said here, like, I'm not stupid. If the guy who's #1 in the world tells me that running Piccolo is better, then I guess running Piccolo is better, right? So he showed me this is the exact team that he uses. He said he would swap LR, Nappa and Vegeta for Krillin. Sorry, the other way around, Krillin for Nappa and Vegeta, if he had dupes in them. And he uses Ghost Ushers, Chilai, Bulma, and Shu. So you can see orb changing and attack up items. The Chilai obviously is for Majin Vegeta. Like, you still use units like Broly, Majin Vegeta. You still want to use these best AoE units. But here you can quite clearly see STR Piccolo. So we are not running a full TUR team. And then interestingly enough, a piece of information that I really didn't expect, if you are going for absolute top speed, is that he doesn't even change the suggested friend, which only really takes a few seconds. Like, when I play the World Tournament, I have my friend search set to being Extreme, STR, Pure Saiyans, Full Power, Movie Bosses. I think there's like one other one as well, which means I always, whenever I click to change friend, it will only show me LR Broly's, and then I literally just pick the top one. It doesn't matter how many dupes they have or whatever. And that, in and of itself, only takes a few seconds. But obviously this guy is coming from the perspective of, if you're going for that hardcore grind, you want to finish top in the entire world, those few seconds every single fight make a difference in the long run. So obviously this advice, I feel like it's useful for all players, even if you're not going for the crazy grind, because most people, let's be fair, we don't enjoy the World Tournament. If you just want to play it to get your 30 million points and get out of there with your rewards, this advice can still be helpful, because by using the most optimal strategy, you're going to be able to get that done in the quickest time possible. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Will you be trying out this strategy in the upcoming tournament? I probably will try this out for the tournament on Global when it starts next week. I don't really have the best World Tournament team on JP. I might play it a little bit just to get some of the rewards, but I will grind it on Global. I'm working over that weekend, so I'll get a bit of time to grind it. I might try and fit in a stream somewhere, but I certainly will be trying out this strategy. So big shout out to Tripsy again. I definitely appreciate getting this advice from somebody who obviously knows what they're doing. Definitely valuable to get advice from the experts. So let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know what your team is going to look like for the World Tournament. Are you going to go for the 30 million? Are you going to go all in and see how high you can go? Let me know all of your thoughts down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.